Is road rage really worth dying over? How about this? Road rage when you're riding a motorbike. Is there such a thing? Road rage while you're riding a damn motorbike? Yeah, apparently there is. Is it worth dying over? I don't think so. But on this short talk, I'm going to tell you about a gentleman from Australia who just died here in Southeast Asia over road rage, according to the reports, while he was riding a motorbike. So welcome to the show, folks. This is going to go in my travel survival, travel safety, tropical diseases playlist. I don't know how many videos are in there, but if you want to know about tropical medicine, just some of the incidents that's went down here in Southeast Asia, I've done videos on. Check out that playlist. This one will make it into the playlist. Without further ado, I'm reading from the Bangkok Post. Maybe I'm trying to have a serious conversation here with my viewers. I'm running a world famous award-winning travel show. The old lady decides to be eye candy in the background, whether I like it or not. Anyhow, Australian tourist dies from beating in Phuket. Turkish suspect detained. The victim pronounced dead of severe head injuries as police say incident could harm tourism image. It always does, but what I like to always point out that the media sort of fails to point out. I mean, it's in the headline, but let's focus on the fact that this is foreigner versus foreigner. It ain't got nothing to do with the locals. It doesn't have anything to do with the country, even though they do, take the rap for it. I just did a video about a week ago where an American tourist goes over there and gets himself killed over his girlfriend who's from Myanmar. Check out that video. A lot of learning lessons there. Millions and millions of ladies in the world, and you're going to fly to the other side of the world and get yourself killed over a chick from Burma. I'm not getting myself killed over any chicks. My goodness, life is too short. Anyhow, check out that video. So I'll tell you what happened, and then I'm going to tell you what they say sparked it, and then I'm going to tell you my take. And I think it boils down to just a small cultural difference that got out of hand. I think that's what it is. And I'm going to tell you from experience why I think that. Good morning, sweet Maria Mercedes. Folks, this is my Maria Mercedes. Good morning, sweet girl. Did you get some food? Okay. All right, well, let Daddy get back to my award-winning travel show here. A 58-year-old Australian tourist died after a violent assault on Patong Beach in Phuket on Wednesday night, as police on Thursday arrested a 29-year-old Turkish man in connection with the assault. Now, let's just pause for a second, and I'll hit it in a few minutes, but numbers. 58-year-old versus 29-year-old. Do I need to tell you who's going to win that fight? I mean, do you need to know any other information? Baby, there's a 58-year-old versus a 29-year-old. Who's going to win the fight? Okay. Gosh, that's obvious already. Okay, so moving right along. The death of the Australian man, identified as Alan Roger Jolliffe, if I said that right, was reported to police at 11 p.m. on Wednesday after he was admitted to Patong Hospital. An examination found the tourist had sustained severe head injuries consistent with a violent assault. Yes, ma'am. Y'all want to go for a walk? By all means, go ahead. Anything else before I continue my serious travel safety talk here? Anything else? We'll talk about the price of bread in Australia? Do you want to talk about the weather in Madagascar? What do you want to talk about? Okay. Yes, y'all could please go for a long walk. Thank you. Now she's complaining that the sun come up. They don't want to walk, or she don't want to walk. Just take your umbrella, take the children for a walk, please. My gosh, you need the exercise. Okay, initial investigation showed the victim had been attacked about 5 p.m. on Wednesday. Bystanders rushed the victim to the hospital. He was pronounced dead at 10:23 p.m. They alerted police and the body was transferred for a post-mortem exam. According to police, now look, this is just an open source article, folks. The news never gets it right, but a lot of times the point and the reason I do these videos, it doesn't matter if all the facts that I'm putting out there are correct. There's a lesson in it. I pick out the lesson, and whether everything, it never is. When the news reports something, obviously it's never right on the money. So I'm just going to tell you what the article says. The suspect, identified only as two gay, I'll call him two guy, was riding a motorcycle and sounded his horn as he passed the victim. The honking reportedly sparked an argument. The suspect then stopped, approached the tourist, and struck him once in the face with his right hand, causing him to collapse, lose consciousness, and hit his head heavily on the ground. Suspect fled the scene but was tracked down and arrested for questioning around 4 a.m. on Thursday. He's been charged with causing the death, with assault causing death, and was brought before the provincial court for detention. Police have opposed his bail. So that is the synopsis of what happened. Okay, so where do I begin? We already started out with if you're 58 years old, and chances are, if you are a retiree, if you're retired, you're an expat, chances are you're an older dude. You're not a young guy like old single dad here. I'm a spry 53 years old, all right? Most of my viewers are my age or older, with the majority of y'all, I think, around 65. So most people listen to my voice right now, of my normal viewers, my normal subscribers, you're a decade older than me. What does that say? I've talked before about how our souls don't change, our souls don't age. Like, pick an age, probably around, I don't know, an early age, and at that point our soul does not change. What changes? This old bag of bones here. It changes, it gets slower. You're gonna go walk now? Okay, all right, you go walk. Okay, you go buy your powder. Well, of course you gotta wash clothes. You got 2 kids here. Hey, give me a Coke. Bring me a Coke. And preferably in a bottle, nice and cold. And if there's any chicharrones, I'll take those too. Yeah, you stole 100 pesos from me, so bring me back a Coke and some chicharrones. Bye, son. Y'all have a good time. Love you, sweetie. All right, now the audio. Now we can get back to seriousness here. Age, right off the bat. Our mindsets and our souls don't change, and we still think that we can kick ass and take initials because we ain't got time to take names. But we have to realize that at 58 years old, this guy should have realized at 58, bro, you're approaching 60. I'll show you a picture of the guy. Let's put him on the screen and we'll start going through these steps. Take a look at the 58-year-old versus the 29-year-old. It looks like grandpa versus a UFC fighter. If you were a betting man, who would you put your money on? So add some alcohol. And I'm not saying alcohol is involved, but a lot of times if people are on vacation or they're at the beach, whatever, people are drinking beer, okay, there's alcohol involved. I don't know, maybe these two guys were stone cold sober. Maybe both of them just stumbled out of different bars and their paths crossed. I don't know that information. But we have to realize is that we age. We can't go against these younger bucks. They're in better shape, they have better cardio, they're gonna heal quicker, they're gonna absorb blows better than we do. And the older we get, the more we have to talk our ways out of situations. We may have to retreat when the younger mindset of us says, go forward. It's much better to talk yourself out of a situation, even if you have to lie or act. Well, fuck that, I'm not backing down from anybody. Okay, well, lose your life over a road rage incident when you could have easily talked yourself out, maybe issued a few apologies. Hey man, I'm sorry, you know. It changes things. Trust me, this is coming from a redneck. Rednecks aren't down with backing down from a fight or for apologizing or saying, hey buddy, I'm sorry man, I was out of line, my bad. But you know what? Those few words a lot of times are all it takes to diffuse a situation, even with the most Billy Badass. Now if the Billy Badass is jacked up and drunk and he wants to fight, and that's his routine, you might not be able to talk yourself out of it. Then it becomes E&E, escape and evasion. Okay, give me 3 steps. Just give me 3 steps, mister. Give me 3 steps towards the door. I don't want to die. I don't want to fight you. You look like a fucking grizzly bear. I want to live. Is that the cowardly way out? I don't give a fuck what you call it. I'm not dying over some fucking road rage incident. Fighting a UFC type dude. So I think that's enough talking about the age gap, the physical fitness gap. Oh, if you touch me, I'm calling the police. If you touch me, I'm gonna call my lawyer. That don't work with all cultures. It'll work with Australian versus Australian maybe. It doesn't work with all cultures. Some countries, people don't call the fucking police. All right? Moving right along. Number 2. Since we're talking about fight on fight. Look at Grandpa holding on to his cell phone. Bro, how much is your life worth? If you're about to engage in battle with a dude who's built like a brick shit house, don't worry about your phone. Drop that fucking phone and get your hands up or take off running. Whatever you're gonna do, but you can't fight holding a fucking cell phone. You cannot defend yourself holding on to a cell phone. And if you watch the video, I'm not gonna put the video, but I'll put the clips. He lets this guy get right up into his fucking space. What is he trying to do? He's trying to put his phone in his pocket. Ain't nothing, especially a damn cell phone, worth dying over, worth impeding your ability to get your hands up and defend your head. Drop the phone, take off running, back up. Don't worry about putting that phone in your pocket. You're about to be attacked potentially by, again, a fucking grizzly bear. And you know, it's funny, we just watched this, those videos of boats coming out of Haulover Cut over here in Miami. That's where I used to keep my boat. And so every now and then those will pop up, I'll watch a little bit of it. Chick gets bounced out of a boat. She's in the middle of Haulover Cut, getting churned around. A dude saves her on a wave runner. And the whole time she never lets go of that fucking iPhone. I mean, facing life or death, but got a death grip on the fucking iPhone. So the dude's distracted by his phone, trying to get it into his pocket. It looks like he makes the phone into his pocket. The guy delivers a fucking karate chop, and the chop, I think, just knocks him out. And then what really damaged him was his head hitting the ground. So I don't know. I'm just speculating. But I don't think that the bitch slap karate chop is what killed him and caused damage to his brain. I think it was the fall from standing height straight to pavement. That's what caused the damage. It caused him to lose his life. No weapons involved, as far as I can tell. Just one karate chop / combination bitch slap. Grandpa goes down, hits his head, end of mission. All right. Now for the cultural aspect as to why I think this happened. Okay. It all started, Grandpa riding a motorbike. Okay. What's his name? Not Tugay. The Turkish guy is going to come around him as he's passing him, and he hits the horn, beep beep, to come around him. Now, in America, and I assume in Australia, we don't use the horns of our vehicle very often. If we do use it, it's for extreme cases, right? We don't use the horn on a daily basis. And this is the cultural difference. I mean, just take a look at any car in America, right? You know, the place where the horn is, it's all nice and pristine. You got some armor all on it. You go to other countries and look where the horn is, that fucking plastic or rubber or whatever is worn out. You can't even see the emblem because people fucking use it every day. So this is what I think happened, the cultural difference. This guy from Turkey, or he's been living over here for a while in this area, in this region, what do people do a lot of times when they pass somebody? They give them a courtesy, toot toot. You hear horns all the time here. Ride a bus. Every time the bus driver goes to pass somebody, he gives them a toot toot or a toot, one quick toot, to let them know. It's a communication device over here. I learned this the hard way in Afghanistan. You know, in America, I'm not used to pulling up to somebody's house and laying on the horn. I mean, you know, especially in a suburban neighborhood, disturbing the peace. Well, in Afghanistan, the horn is a tool. You just pull up in front of somebody's house, lay on the fucking horn. It's not out of the ordinary. It's culturally acceptable. Just lay on the fucking horn until they come open the gate. Well, over here in Southeast Asia, the horn is a signaling device. You're going to overtake somebody in a van, a car, there's a trike on the side of the road, you're going to give them a toot. Burp. They don't move over, give them toot, and they move over. It just lets them know, hey man, I'm on your 6, I'm about to pass you, please move over to the right, I'm coming around you. There's no need, and it's not the intention for anybody to get pissed off. Merely a communication device. Whereas in American culture, if somebody honks at you, why is this fucker honking at me, mother? There's a difference in the perception of what the toot toot means. So this is what I think happened. All right, Grandpa's riding his motorbike, having a great day. Okay. The Turkish guy riding his motorbike, having a great day, but he's going a little bit faster than Grandpa, which is reasonable. He goes to overtake him, gives him a beep beep. No big deal. What he does every time he overtakes a vehicle, And then Grandpa, not used to it, probably gets fucking scared and jumps, whatever. It's like, hey, motherfucker, why the fuck you honking at me? That might be a little over dramatic, but it started somehow. So from Grandpa's perspective, why is this guy honking at me and scared the shit out of me and almost ran me off the road? So he just reacts, hey, motherfucker. So put yourself in the Turkish guy's shoes. He's riding along, just gives the guy a courtesy toot-toot to let him know he's coming around, and all of a sudden, this old fucker starts cussing him. Now, if you're that guy just riding along, enjoying your day, beep, beep, you know, come around you, beep, beep, and then all of a sudden, fuck you. What the fuck is this old bastard talking about? And the girlfriend was with the Turkish guy, so he's probably telling his lady, what the fuck that guy just say? And you also, Grandpa, if that's what he said, offended the Turkish guy in front of his lady, which makes it even worse. This guy's cussing me out in front of my old lady. What the? So he probably turns to him, slows down. He slows the bike down, right? Makes sense. How are they going to converse unless he slows down? So it should have just been like this, but it was beep beep, fuck you mother. Whoa, what did he say? What the hell did you say? Now they're side by side running that flapper at each other. They're running that flapper at each other, and it just ratchets it up. Therefore, road rage incident. Then Grandpa is stupid enough to pull over. Yep, you're stupid enough to pull over during a road rage incident. You have to bear some responsibility. Okay? I'm not pulling over for anybody. And I don't recommend you pull over and stop for anybody for any reason. No matter what they say, what they do, don't pull over. You get the fuck off the X. You got to cut a quick right and a left to get away from them, just get away from them and you'll live. You pull over. There is nothing good that's going to come out of a road rage incident, especially in America. Everybody's got guns. If you pull over, it's gonna ratchet up. Somebody's pulling out a gun. Somebody's gonna do something which is going to affect your life. Either you're going to be the victim or you're probably gonna be the guy in the jailhouse. When you could have just kept going. If the guy won't leave you alone, you hit 911, hey, I got a crazy dude following me. At some point, the cops will catch up, pull you all over, maintain, control the situation. Now that's in America. Step 2, you can drive straight to the police station, pull over to the fire station. Don't stop on the side of the road and go toe to toe with some jackass who is already ratcheted up. That's just plain stupidity. How do you know it's not a robbery? And that's how they're getting you to stop. I'm not backing down for anybody. I got old Betsy on my side. I'll pull over if he does anything to me. Dude, it could be just part of their plan. It's a robbery, there's 2 cars, and you're stupid enough to pull over. Okay? I'm not falling for no banana in my tailpipe. This dude can run his mouth all he wants. If he gets aggressive with the vehicle itself, I'm out of there. Good luck catching up, motherfucker. You know, back to Grandpa and the Turkish dude. Grandpa's stupid enough to pull over. They get off the motorbike, and the video clip obviously shows the Turkish guy as the aggressor moving forward. His lady's trying to hold him back and pull him back. And Grandpa's just over there sort of like half on guard, trying to get his cell phone in his pocket before he takes the karate chop. Where'd he go wrong? Grandpa should not have pulled over. Grandpa should not have ran his mouth. I think the fact that he wasn't running his mouth in the clip is that at that point, or a few seconds before, he realized he had bitten off more than he could chew. He realized he had a tiger by the tail that he didn't want. So I don't see him running his mouth on the video clip I saw. The damage is already done. Turkish guys ratcheted up, and Grandpa's like, oh shit. Too late. At that point, when you realize it's too late, maybe that's the point you go to apologizing, backing down. Hey man, I'm sorry, you know what I mean? I had a couple beers, I'm sorry man, shit, my bad, I'm sorry. How much is your life worth? You know, when that dude goes home and you part ways, you can tell the story any way you want to tell it. Whatever you want to do, but you're still alive. You know, there are times in life where you're not going to win a situation no matter how badass you think you are. You're just not. And the smart man backs down. There's a couple situations that come to mind. If you check out my book, there was an incident in Afghanistan where that's how I diffused the situation. There was some tension, could have broke bad. What did I do? I was like, you know what? Let me just sit down. Let me just sit down. It fucking diffused the whole situation. Next thing you know, we're all fucking buddies. You'll have to read about it in the book. Instead of staying firm, sometimes you got to sit down and diffuse it. So, where do I go from here? So many things. The chain of events that led to this gentleman losing his life, so many points in this chain that he could have done something different, he'd still be alive. Still be alive. But what I think caused this whole incident was just the cultural difference of beep beep, I'm coming around you. And Grandpa's perception was, why the fuck you honking at me? What did I do? Differences in culture. See how that works? That's what I think happened. It wasn't anything sinister to start with. It was just merely a signal, beep beep, hey man, I'm coming around you, watch out. Have a nice day. And then Grandpa sparked it off with, hey, fuck you. Why are you honking at me? What'd you say? Say it again. Say it to my face. That type of situation. Hey, Forrest G, can I get some of them chips, man? No? Here, come here, Daddy, open for you. Here, Papa, open them chips for you, man. Yeah, I want a Coke, but I want a Yeti cup full of ice, and then bring it out here and slow pour it. Don't mess up the fizz. What else can I say about the incident, folks? When you go to other countries and other cultures, realize that you're not in Kansas anymore. People do different things. And you just have to sort of jai yin yin. Just calm your jets, cool down, and close that mouth most of the time. Just keep that fucking mouth closed. If you come here to the Philippines, what do I recommend you pack? 2 suitcases full of patience, 2 big suitcases full of patience, and 1 carry-on full of shut the fuck up. And you'll be fine here. You'll be fine here. But if you don't have patience, and if you're that type of guy that starts running that mouth, you'll have problems here in this country. Pretty simple. Life here moves a lot slower than it does in the West. Time is not as rigid. It's more of a suggestion. and it will piss you off to no end that people won't show up on time. We call it Filipino time, their words, not mine. And it pisses us off as Americans. But here's the double-edged sword. The same thing we hate is the thing that attracts us to this place. We want the slower pace of life. We love that slower pace of life and the fact that we don't have to live and die by the clock. But it will still piss you off because you're programmed for 60 years to always be on time. I'm trying to teach this crew here, always be 15 minutes early or you're late. But in the same sense, that's what you love about living by the beach, living in the tropics, living on an island. You know, I get to throw my watch away. I didn't wear a watch for over a decade until these kids started going to school. Now I got to wear a watch again because I got to pick kids up and take them to school. So that's my talk, folks. I know I'm all over the map. I don't have a script. I don't write scripts here. I just start talking about the issues. Let's talk about one more issue. The recent video that I just did featured a guy. He's got a bald head, tattoos. You know, your perception, many people's perception of him is he's a thug. He looks like a thug. Well, what does the Turkish guy look like? Looks like a thug. Got the tattoos, the beard, the shaved head. So if somebody looked at it, their perception is, oh, this is a thug or, you know, wannabe gangster versus grandpa. That could be their perception. And I know I'm pissing a bunch of y'all off because a lot of my viewers out there, what do y'all got? You got a bald head, rocking a beard, you got some tats from the military or whatever. I'm not judging anybody, okay? But these are things that you need to think about if you're going abroad. What do the locals think about me? Well, step one, you're a foreigner. They're already shy and timid of us, especially here in the Philippines, but anywhere. You go somewhere where they're not used to seeing foreigners, you know, everybody about the same height, about the same build, and here you come 6 foot. A lot of places they've never seen a 6 foot American before. It's very foreign to them. I've been places in my travels, many places throughout Southeast Asia throughout the years, where I've been the first foreigner to ever go to their village. I think that's getting harder to say these days as more people travel, but I've been places where I was the first foreigner in the village and people just want to look at you, right? Look like an alien to them. Well, what if you show up with all these tattoos? A lot of the locals they're not used to that. You got a shaved head, they're not used to that. They're not used to a big old beard. Certain areas they are, certain areas they're not. Well, this incident and the incident a week ago splashed all over the media. The locals read this. What are they reading? Okay, dude with the bald head, tattoos, brings a knife, tries to hurt a Myanmar girl, gets killed. Now this guy here, same profile, kills grandpa over on the beach. So I talked about softening your image when you first move into an area until people get to know you, and I think it offended some of y'all. I'm not trying to hide who I am. I'm not telling you to. I'm just telling you potentially how the locals perceive you and how you can soften your image when you first move into the neighborhood. If you're going to move into your wife's village or what have you, and you look like this Turkish guy, the locals they're going to be scared of you. That's just the way it is. You can soften your image when you first meet the locals. How can you do it? Put a shirt on like this, maybe hide some tats, put a hat on, smile, be friendly to everybody, and then when everybody gets to know you, Okay, take your shit off, show all your prison tats, you know, take your hat off, because everybody already has a first impression of you and they know you're a nice guy. Then they don't judge you on appearance. But when you first meet somebody, how are we judged? By our appearance, based on previous instances with that profile. There you go. A lot of people, when they travel, they grow a travel beard. If you're going to the Middle East, that's a good idea. Okay? When I was over there, I had a big old beard like down to here. Just a jet black, big old huge beard. Why? Because over there, everybody has a beard. It allowed me to blend in, and it was for safety. It was so I could blend in, so I could be one of the locals. Nobody ever suspected me of being an American. Okay? When in Rome, do as the Romans. Now, I left Afghanistan, was going on vacation with my wife in Rome. Got to the airport. I came through immigration and customs. They stamped me in. The person stamping me in didn't give me any indication that anything was wrong or crazy or awry, just cool as a cucumber. I went around the corner and I saw a Arab dude over there getting hemmed up and searched. And when I saw him, boom, they went hands on with me and grabbed me too. And when they grabbed me, it startled me, and I was like, hey fellas, what the hell's going on? And then it startled them, because they thought they had grabbed another Arab guy, was gonna toss his bags and, you know, checking for terrorism. And then they heard some redneck English come out of this mouth, and they were confused. They were not expecting this. Why did they grab me? Because I had a fucking beard down to here. They thought they had Marcos bin Laden, you know, Osama bin Marcos. Instead, they just had some redneck American who was working over in Afghanistan. So we are judged on appearance. In other countries, there's no such thing as racial profiling. If they want to grab you, they're going to grab you. That's what happened to me. They don't have to deal with, oh, you only grabbed me because I was wearing, you know, I had a beard. They don't care. So I got grabbed and hemmed up temporarily till I realized, oh shit, this is just some American dude with a big old beard. All right. Now contrast that. Well, let me continue the story. I go check in the hotel down in Rome. I'm waiting on my old lady's flight later in the day. I go to this restaurant. I go in there and sit down, and it was like the music stopped. It was a nice little restaurant, all locals in there. There were no tourists. And like everybody turned and looked, and they were like, who the hell, you know, let Marcos bin Laden in here? I go sit down on the table, and I think the waiters were like drawing straws to see who had to serve me. It is what it is. I go pick the old lady up. We went to another place to eat. It was the same situation. And I said, you know what, that's it. I'm not gonna ruin our vacation everywhere we go, because I mean, I'm dark skinned. Everybody thought I was Arab. I said, I'm not gonna ruin our vacation. I went ahead and shaved that shit off. And then everywhere we went, there was no issues. As soon as I got back to Afghanistan, okay, I gotta grow it back for safety so I can blend in with that population. So there you go. That's my stories. Those are my stories. If I invoke thought in one of you, I don't have all the answers. I'm not claiming to be right. There's the way it is. There's a way it should be. There's some in-betweens. If I invoke thought in one person, where if you go travel, or if you're going to move and become an expat, move into an area, especially where locals are not used to dealing with foreigners, you might want to soften your image for just a little bit until they get to know you. And then it don't matter what you look like. But we do choose books and videos based on their cover, based on the cover. The title, the thumbnail is why you chose this video. Title and the book cover is why you pulled a book off the shelf. There you go. So, moral of the story, if somebody honks at you, don't take that as a sign of disrespect or there's something wrong. In a lot of places in the world, it merely means I'm about to pass you, brother. Heads up. That's it. That's all it means. My heart goes out to the family of the gentleman who lost his life. But my heart also goes out to the family of the dude who bitch slapped Grandpa. His family's obviously going to be affected too. Not making excuses for what he did. He's the captain of his own destiny. He didn't have to engage in any of this as well. At any point during his involvement, he could have derailed this. Okay, beep beep, I'm coming around you, Grandpa. Hey, what the fuck? You just keep riding. Just keep on riding. You would still be out there with your girlfriend enjoying your vacation or living life. But no, you chose to slow down. Okay, what's his name? Tagai? Tugai. He chose to slow down and engage in this conversation. He's just as guilty. You're the captain of your own destiny. And these gentlemen, they steered both of their ships into destroying their lives. One's in the graveyard, one to be in prison. I did not script that. I did not script that. But you know what just happened? An SUV was going around a slow traveling Grab driver. And so what did he do? Beep, beep. I'm coming around you, brother. Did you hear the Grab driver say, hey, what the fuck? Another horn right down there. It's used as a communication device, not a sign of disrespect. Don't get pissed off if somebody blows their horn at you. Man, I'm telling you, this show is not scripted. That was not scripted, but I hope the audio picked that shit up because that was perfect timing. Check out my travel/tropical diseases, that playlist. Just throughout the years, I've done talks like this. If you're working around the house, just push play and listen. The more you learn about the place you're going to, just the safer you are. You know, knowledge is obviously power. And these days we rely on information in our phone way too much. Whereas this information in this incident should have been in Grandpa's head already. So folks, let me know what you think. What would you do? What would you do if you were engaged in a road rage incident? Somebody's honking their horn at you, following you, being aggressive, flipping you off. What would you do? Would you stop? If you're on a motorbike on vacation and somebody comes by and starts yakking you, what would you do? Would you stop? Let me know. Let me know. I'll read your comments down there. Because a lot of you might stop. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I would do. I'm not stopping. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not arguing with anybody because you're not on my agenda for the fucking day. If you're not on my agenda, you mean nothing to me. That's how I look at it. I don't give a fuck what you say, what you try to do to provoke me. If you're not on my fucking planner or my agenda, and I didn't plan on meeting you today, it's like I'm mute to whatever the fuck you say. That's why I don't give a shit about these haters and these trolls that leave comments. I love you. Please just write longer fucking comments. The longer, the better. But I'm not engaging in any road rage incident because you know what? The guy honking the horn is not on my agenda. And you just don't rate. You're just not that important. You're just not that important to try to get me engaged in some type of road rage incident. It's not going to happen with this guy. I'm just going to get away from you because you're wasting my time. That's how I look at it, and I'm a redneck. That's not the redneck way to do things. They're going to get out and fight. That's what's ingrained in me. But if you look at it like that, you're not on my fucking agenda, dude. You don't get any of my attention. I'm out of here. I'm still alive and Grandpa's in the graveyard. Folks, if you don't mind, hit that thumbs up or thumbs down, whatever. Do something, take some action that helps out with them Google squirrels. I certainly appreciate you. Hope I at least invoke thought in one person out there. And if I did, then I'll chalk it up as a win. I'll see y'all on the next one, and peace out.